The division of an estate sometimes is by itself, but it is common to see it after an inventory, an account current, or other document. Basically, it is dividing up of slaves or land and listing who will receive them. This video will show you examples of the division of property and dowries to women receiving property of slaves from their deceased husbands' estates, and how to find them in Family Search. There will often be a map or a description of the property the person is receiving. Today I'm going to show you how to find some of these division of properties. And I'm going to start out on Family Search. Go to Search and search Catalog. And then I'm going to do Greene County, Kentucky. All right, we're going to go down to probate records. And I believe I did this probate records here. Let's see if this, yeah, this is it. So I clicked on this second one, volume 6, 1835 to 1839. These divisions are not always easy to find. They list them under different things. Administrative records, just probate records. So you kind of have to look around. But usually at the front of the books, they have indexes. And this one, if you notice, this is the first page. We have Joseph Aiken, and it's Division of Slaves, and it's on page 73. All right, I'm going to go a few more pages here just to show you. Let's see, I don't think there was any divisions on these. Go to the next one. I think there was a division on the next page. Okay. Here's one. A division of her estate. And that's page 74. And then I also noticed here there's an allotment of dowry. This is for Sally Lastly. Here's another one, division of slaves. So I want to look at a few of these first three. So if you're looking, you're just looking, they're usually in alphabetical order, and you happen to see if one of your relatives has a division of their estate or their slaves. Excuse me, I've been sick. I didn't even post anything last week, but I can at least talk at this point. I'll probably cough a few times. Anyways, so let's go. I looked it up beforehand. I'm going to go to image 43. Let me go down here just to show you. So if you're looking, you just kind of have to click on some of these and see what page it is. This is page 28, and I'm looking for 73. It happens to be on image 43, I think. Okay, not quite. Or maybe it's 48. I think it was 48. Can't even read my own writing down here. Okay, there is image 73, 72, I wanted 73. All right, let's see if here it is, division of slaves. It's actually, oh yeah, that's 73 there. Okay, so this is for William B. Allen. Let's see, for Joseph Atkins heirs. So these are the people that did the administration of the division. And it says for the heirs of Joseph Atkin, who is deceased, they almost always abbreviate it DEC with a D at the end, the slaves belonging to the estate. And then they list here, number 1, Charles goes to Juliana Aiken. It tells that he's worth $800. Edmund goes to Caroline Porter, $800. Luke goes to Thomas E. Aiken. Now, that's not my family, but I went looking, and I found Joseph B. Aiken. Okay, there we go. And he died in 1828 in Greene County, Kentucky. This happens to be 1835 or 1836. So if you know somebody's passed away at a certain time, you're going to look. I mean, 1836, 35, 36. It's, 8 years later after he's passed away. So it took a while for them to actually take it to the courts and get the division done. But let's look at these children. So remember, there was a Caroline Porter. There's a Julie Ann. Let's go back here. Thomas E. There's a Thomas E. So I'm pretty sure I'm on the right family. Here's a Joseph Atkins, and there's a Joseph Atkins. Now the interesting thing is it says Caroline Porter, and here it says that she was married to John Churchill. That may be correct. This was 1827. Maybe he died and she's remarried. Or this could be incorrect. And this is why some of these records are really good, because we see here that she's probably got another husband, either a second husband or this is not correct. And we see that Julianne is not married yet. But also notice that there's a Mary Atkin, and it says somebody goes to, that's Joseph Atkins, so he gets 2 slaves. Esther, Mary, and Mary go to Samuel Atkins. We have Joseph W. Atkin to receive of Caroline Porter, $9. Anyways, what I wanted you to see is that there looks like there's children that are missing. Mary and a Samuel. I don't see a Mary and a Samuel, and there's no William. Either he has died before this time, and actually, anyways, I don't know. But there was no William listed, but there's a Samuel and a Mary that are not there. Now what I wanted to show you is, let me go to his person page here. This record is not attached to his name, but I'm pretty sure this is who it is. This is in Greene County, Kentucky, and that's what we're looking for. Excuse me. So let's go back here to first of all, we have to have this number right here. We're going to click on that. And I'm going to go here, I'm going to say attach to family. Then you can change what it says here. And if it's a division of slaves for the estate of Joseph B. Atkin. And I'm going to put 1830. Let me look down here. See if it gives me 1835. In a Greene County, Kentucky. And I'm going to select the person. Sometimes the person comes up. There he is. But if he hadn't, I could have put the number in there. So I'm going to click there. Now I didn't see his wife, and it looks like she's passed away before him. William was not mentioned, but Caroline was, Julianne was, Joseph was, and Thomas were. Oh, now look, there is Mary. I didn't see that. There was another marriage. So this Mary and Samuel are also listed. Now this is John. Not sure if there's a John. 5 cents. John Atkins, $9. So I can click on him. So I'm sure this is the right family. So let's just say next, and I will say attach. So that gives a source for all of those children and the father for this record here. So let me get rid of this, and let's go to page 74, which is the next page. That was inventory. Okay, division of slaves for Anne Lewis among her children. So we have this in 1835. Divide the slaves of Anne Lewis. So obviously Anne Lewis has passed away, which means her husband had already passed away also. Okay, we have the estate so we have Frances M. Lewis. This one's hard to read. It looks like it might be Elmira Cheryl, late Lewis, so she was a Lewis and is now married to a Cheryl. We have, and they've got it really small in here, it looks like Mary Ann Lewis, Catherine Lewis, James Lewis, Bushrod Lewis, and can't read that name, somebody Lewis. And there's going to be a division. Now I searched for this person and this family. I could not find them. They may not be in family search yet. So I can't attach this record. I could create the family, but I'm not going to do that. Not at this time. But I just wanted to show you that there is another one. And so you learn the children of Anne Lewis. And you may be able to find, if somebody's looking for this family, in previous records there might be a will for her husband that would be leaving the slaves to Anne. So that might be something somebody could look for. But I wanted to show you one more on here. This page 79, and I think I wrote down 51, image 51. Let's try it. I can't read my own writing. Okay, let's see what we have here. I have my little screen here, and I want page 79. Here it is. Allotment of dowry for Sally Lacey. Lacey. Now this is 1835. Looks like December. And it says December term of 1839. So sometimes they didn't meet every month. This is when they met. So it's divide and allot Sally Lacey's, widow of Manoah Lacey. So in this one we learn her husband's name. Her dower in her deceased husband's estate. So she's receiving probably land. Let's see here. This is the 20th day of 1836. So, oh goodness, maybe that's when she's supposed to, after due examination of the land. So she's receiving, here we go, 132 acres. And then they're going to give out the boundaries. And so if you want to understand this, north 53, west 22 poles, go look at my land records on Find Family Records. The findfamilyrecords.com, and look up the land records and watch some of those videos. I explain how that works. So I went looking and I found Manoah Lacey. He died in 1835. She lived to 1886. According to Family Search, she only had one daughter, and her daughter lived only 4 years longer than her mother, Sally. So I'm going to go, well, we can just do it right here on Manoah. Let's attach. See, I looked at this in 1803 to find a grave, but that record is not attached. So I'm going to copy this because I don't think he's going to come up. But let's attach this record. And I'm going to say estate of Manoah Lacey. I'll put 1835. Obviously, they have 1836 in there, so they must have written this down in 1836. And I'll put dower to wife Sally. So kind of explain it, and I'll show you afterwards where this comes up. So person, and oh, he does come up. Okay, so there he is. And then I can click on his wife, Sally. And say next and attach. You can actually put information in there if you want. So now let's go. I'm going to refresh this page. There should now be 3 sources. And what I have to do, so you come in, here's what I wrote. It comes up, and that's, sometimes they just have these really long explanations of what they are, and it's not specifically to the person that you are trying to attach the record to, so it's good for you to put it in. But they don't put the date in, so I usually put the date here so I can remember, and I put down here, you can change this, 1835. And then make sure that you click on this and that it is standardized. Otherwise, this save won't be blue. You won't be able to click on it. So click, and there it is. So that's how you attach it. All right, so that is in Greene County, Kentucky. And every county is different. Let me just very quickly do one more search and family search. Hopefully I can do this quickly. Search catalog. I do a lot of research in Pennsylvania, Virginia. So, and they have a lot of divisions. So search and probate. I did not do this accounts, current inventories, general index. I think this is where I usually find them. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking at this one right now. So working on this. Let's go to this film. There we go. So again, let's go to the very beginning of this. Accounts current. Okay, these are hard to read, and I should have looked it up beforehand, but so here's Polly Anderson. Here's an allotment of dowry. Let's see if we can find another division. Here's a division of estate for Thomas Black. This tells you what page. And Anderson, let's see what page she was on. She's 258. I'm not going to go looking for that. I just wanted to show you that. So you just have to kind of look through some of these different records to find where these divisions are. But they sometimes can be wonderful to give you family names because it's dividing it up usually among the children or siblings. So enjoy looking for these division of records. Here's a division of estate for Nolan. Below we see it is for Brian W. Nolan. The children listed are Peyton Nolan, Lucy Bennett, Suki Devon, James Nolan, David Nolan, Mary Mahan, Richard W. Nolan, Katie Berger, Samuel Nolan, Annie Nolan, or Amy Nolan, and Sherrod Nolan. Each of the children are receiving a slave or slaves from their father's estate. If you have ancestors who are slaves, then looking at a division of estates might be a way to find your ancestors. Sadly, only the first names are given. I couldn't fit the whole Brian Nolan family chart on this slide, so each name could be read, so I divided it up. Let's take each name listed on the division record and find them in the family. Peyton Nolan. Lucy Bennett, married to Stephen Bennett. Suki or Susanna, married to Alexander Devon. James Nolan, David Nolan. Mary Mahan, married to James Mahan. Richard Wade Nolan, or well, in the record it said Richard W. Nolan. Katie Berger, married to Jacob Berger. Samuel Nolan. Annie Nolan, married to James Jones. And notice they were married in March of 1810, and the document was in November of 1810. I'm not sure why she's listed as Nolan, but maybe the recording was before she got married. Brian and Martha Nolan are not listed. They may have received slaves before their father died. All the other children died before their father's death. Here's another division of Negroes for John F. Patrick on the 18th of November, 1812. Notice that on the document it gives his name as John F. Patrick, but in Family Search he's listed as John Fitzpatrick. The division of slaves helped me identify this family because the children matched up. The children are Berthlyn Patrick, Mary Patrick Brent, Sarah Patrick Cox, Edmund Patrick, David Patrick, John Patrick, William Patrick, and Elizabeth Patrick Moore. Let's take a look at the document. The slaves were divided up into numbered groups. Each person drew a number, and those were the slaves they received. William Patrick drew number 1. John Patrick drew number 2. Edmund Patrick drew number 3. Elizabeth Moore drew number 4. James Muston drew number 5. I'm not sure who James Muston is or how he's related, but since he is receiving an allotment of slave, he must be related. My guess is that he is a son-in-law to a daughter that is not listed. Heirs of Sarah Cox drew number 6. It appears that Sarah and her husband have died before 1812, so the children are receiving the slaves. James Brent drew number 7. Since Mary is not receiving the lot of slaves, but her husband is, it appears she has died before 1812. Heirs of David Patrick drew number 8. David Patrick has died before 1812. Berthlyn Patrick is not listed, so likely died before 1812. Berthlyn Patrick may have been married to James Muston, and that's why he received one of the lots of slaves. From this division we verify the names of John F. Patrick's children, which of them have died before 1812, and a possible daughter that is missing, or that Berthlyn's husband is John Mustain. Let's look at another division. This next one is for Abraham Shelton. Here we see that this is a division of land of Abraham Shelton in 1792. The first piece of land goes to William Shelton, one of his sons. He is receiving 224 2/3 acres of land. The description of the land is then given. Taverner Shelton, another son, is receiving 264 2/3 acres, with a description after that. Frederick Shelton, another son, is receiving 264 2/3 acres, with the description following. Robertson Shelton, another son, is receiving 250 acres of land. And again, the description follows. It follows each one of them. In 1804, there is another division of the land of Abraham Shelton. The land begins with 640 acres, and the land is going to be divided into 8 sections of 80 acres each. This time a map is showing the property. Those who receive the 80 acres each are Robertson Shelton, William Shelton, Frederick Shelton, Crispin Shelton, Taverner Shelton, Abraham Shelton. These are the sons of Abraham Shelton. Jeremiah White and John Stone are son-in-laws, and they also received 80 acres. Division of an estate gives family members, usually children, but some people did not have children, so siblings, nieces, nephews, Sometimes friends, etc. can also be mentioned. Like other court records, these records are not always easy to read, but generally all you need to find are the names of those listed in the division. One thing to watch for is when the land description is given, watch for the neighbors that are sometimes mentioned. Sometimes these are family members that live next to the property being divided. Happy hunting!